Time for an update on progress. It's been a number of weeks since I stood in this same corridor and it was cold. I pointed out the blatantly obvious that it was dark. So you can see we've made progress because we now have light, but it doesn't end there. So by way of updates, let's go and have a look at what is new. So first, we've got security working. We're going to maintain the facility at SPF, which means specific pathogen free. That means this barrier denotes a relatively dirty side, where I am now, and a far, far cleaner side on the other. What you'd commonly do when you first arrive at work is remove your outer clothing, step over the barrier, put on surgical scrubs, and I think a common misconception is that those surgical scrubs are there to keep you clean. It's actually the reverse. We pick up outside pathogens, dust, dander, lots of things that can actually challenge the immune system of an animal in a research unit, and we want to keep that on this side of the barrier, hence removal of clothes, covering of hair, potentially even a wet shower. By maintaining an SPF barrier, we are limiting the variation in data. So the link there is any immunological challenge that the animal experiences has the potential to introduce variation in experimental data. That's not what we want. So keeping the facility as clean as possible, that's SPF standard, limits the potential for infections, reduces the variability in your data, and you could take that one step further and say, well, with tighter data, I could use less animals. So it has a potential to impact the number of animals used, so it's a great application of the 3 R's. Once we're working in a barriered unit, we need to keep everything within here pathogen free. So I've brought you to the Cagewash area, the real engine room of every animal facility. So here we have cleared out all of the old equipment and replaced with new. We use a combination of methods to make sure all of our equipment is pathogen free. We use washing technology. And behind this screening, we'll pop an autoclave, which sterilises things through heat. I'm not an expert on autoclaves, but this was a big part of our project, which is why we brought in other engineers and experts in their field. So to talk you through the big activities that happen in Cagewash, I'm going to hand you over to Alistair, who can talk you through the renovations.
So this is one of the most challenging parts of the project to date. What we need to do is we need to manage to get this 5-ton lump of steel out of the building safely. One of the things that we need for this is the clearance in the doorway, where the aperture is going to be raised to 2.7 metres. This also matches the ceiling height, which is in the Cagewash area currently. So what we've done is we've stripped back the machine to make it the smallest possible box. On the sides, we've removed all the pipe works, which have been cut so they all sit flush with the side of the machine. As you may notice, we've got these straps that are on the side here. This is because we've taken the door hangers off, so that makes the doors unstable. They currently sit on these pins, and what we have is we have some locking screws on the side of the machine to hold it in place. So instead of belt and braces, we've got locking screws and ratchet straps. So into the pit itself, all of the existing pumps and pipe work has been removed. The estates team once again came down and did an excellent job to isolate and remove all the connecting services before we take the machine out of place. Looking into the back of the area, I'll just come and get you so you can have a look. We've created a safe working area for the specialist lifting team for when they come back in a couple of weeks' time. This then gives them some space to move and work around the machine without going into the clean area. So the next steps will be to carry out the enabling works, where the pit will be lengthened because the new machine is slightly longer, so we can get a higher throughput capacity for the racks. Once the machine is in place, all of the gaps around the machine will be completed with fascia, and this will maintain the barrier for Agenda and Discovery Park.